Welcome back to my channel. This is a vlog. I just want to air out and talk and get some thoughts out. You know, I always like to think that everybody and anybody can be in a position of leadership. And it first starts with leading ourselves, right? Like, we have to lead ourselves all of the time out of negative situations, negative moods, negative outlooks, negative mindsets. And these negative mindsets create negative circumstances in our lives, right? So it is really important to know how to lead yourself. It is really important to know how to gain control of your own mind. And I talk about this so much because I've been through a lot in my life personally. And I've felt everything very deeply all the time for my entire life. Everything has always affected me very deeply. Relationships, business involvement, jobs. I get emotionally involved. And I don't show it pretty much ever because it's not safe really to like do that in our society and in the world. And you learn that growing up, like you show affection for your friends and you show affection when you're younger easily, but as you grow older it becomes a lot harder because we become hardened by our experiences, and so it becomes less commonplace to open up, to share your feelings, to be honest with yourself and others about how you feel or how deeply involved you are in things. And it's just also not commonplace, like, as adults to just really become very emotionally involved. At least I don't think it's commonplace, because I know that I've felt in situations that it's only been me that cares or is like involved. And so I've done the opposite outwardly. Like, I would show the opposite, like, oh, like, I don't care, and this is just because it's like a defense mechanism. So the reason why I'm talking about this today is because if we were all more honest with ourselves about how we felt, and if we felt safe to voice how we felt, then we would actually give ourselves the chance to heal. And I'm bringing this up again because today something triggered this flow of thought within me. It's a new moon and I'm a little emotional today. Don't worry about it. And so I was just thinking about how, in order to protect ourselves, we put on a front. Like, for me personally, I've been doing this my entire life. And what it is it's called masking, right? So when you have a few negative experiences as a child, getting adults around you like upset at you because you display your emotions, you learn that you're not supposed to show your emotions, or you learn that it's not safe for you to express how you feel. It's not safe for you to say how you feel. So a lot of us walk around as adults with like throat chakra blockages and like even depression or negative self like perception, and these things do not have to be there if we were all living from our natural selves, which some people do. And these are the people that make it an effort to do so, and they do internal work on themselves to heal and to become more open, right? And then there are other individuals that never do. They never heal. They never come back to themselves. They numb themselves so far. They just numb themselves with so much like ego tripping and a need to fulfill their desires and just all these things that they're covering up their wounds with, which is like fine. I'm just making a stark comparison between two archetypes of people just for the sake of the example. So dealing with your trauma, regardless of who you are or what you've been through or what status you hold, is the most important thing. It is of utmost importance. Healing your trauma, okay, and healing your pain and resolving certain issues within yourself is a universal need. It is a universal need. It applies to all people of all classes, of all tastes, of all characteristics, of all personality types, of all backgrounds. It applies to everybody. And so we need to individually be doing this work. And I'm saying this to you guys today because, like I said, something triggered me. Well, Seema, what triggered you? I realized that I have been dealing with things my entire life pretty much alone, and I don't have to do that, right? But because I've been doing it so much, like, it is a habit for me. So for me to ask for help, or for me to, like, personally, for me to, you know, say that I'm not well to somebody, like, that's, I've just understood that that doesn't even do anything. Like, it doesn't even help. Like, it's never resolved any of my problems or issues. So I know how to resolve my problems and issues, right? So if I'm not feeling well, I go to God. And I also do things in my environment that I can control. So I will make sure to turn to different tools. So I have box breathing, I have affirmations, I have prayer, I have meditation, I have resetting my space, resetting my physical environment, my body, doing workouts. Um, you know, sometimes I'll even like record myself and vent, and then I'll delete the recording. That's like another technique that I use. And then when I feel better and when I'm all put together, I will go and do something productive for myself or my business, like I'm doing right now. So, or for other people, right? So, like, that's my system. That's my way of like solving my problems, right? That are like maybe on like a lower scale tier of problems, right? So these quick reset things personally really, really helped me. Now, if I were to go and like call a friend and be like, hey, this is what's going on with me, like, I wouldn't have the coping skills that I do right now. I wouldn't have the need to help people with this information. I was on Threads yesterday. They were like talking about their parents, right? And it jolted me awake. It was like, this is why I want to help people, because I've been through these situations and I want to bring it to light to people that they don't have to deal with this kind of stuff alone. Where was it? Basically, the thread was saying that their parents were like bothering them or something. It may not be on this phone. Of course it's not on this phone. I have cookies. I wasn't feeling good earlier, so I got cookies. Hold on. It's one of my coping skills. Oh my god, not me actually freaking out again. I just want to find this so bad. I may have just like liked it on Threads. Go follow me on Threads if you're not following me already. WYD, baby, what are you doing? You know what I mean? My Threads are the best. They're the best. Anyways, so somebody was just ranting on Threads and they were like, my parents give me trauma. My parents are like holding me back from my dreams. I can't accept myself because of the negative self-talk that I have because of them and all this stuff. And I was reading the comments, and the comments were agreeing with the post, and they were saying, girl, me too, I feel you. My parents traumatized me in different ways, right? And I was reading it, and I was thinking, like, if people knew how to deal with this, we would have a lot more global addition in a positive way, right? Like, we would have people actually, like, living out their dreams and doing bigger things and being happy and healed, and they would benefit from it, and even their parents would benefit from it, and everybody would benefit, right? Because when one person wins, everybody wins. That's actually how it works, by the way, if you didn't know. When somebody wins, we all win because we're all connected. So I was thinking that if people just knew, because I've had to do this myself, this inner work, right? People just understood that your parents are not a reflection of you. You are not a reflection of them. You both do not define one another. You both do not own one another. And you both do not owe either one of you anything, right? Then we would feel a lot more free, independent. We would be a lot more self-accepting, because parental trauma is something that a lot of people deal with. It's a big deal, because when your brain is developing as a kid, that is the most foundational time in your life, right? And so your identity is developing. So your parents are responsible literally for molding and shaping your identity, and they to some degree control the outer environment that you reside within. So those years are crucial for self-development, and if you have some trauma there, even well into adulthood, you cannot function properly. You cannot be who you want to be. So if people just understood that they should stop blaming their parents for anything and everything, because guess what? Your parents could have honestly really traumatized you. They could have been the worst people or whatever, right? And still that has nothing to do with you. This is healing. This is healing. It's not, oh, I am blocking them. I'm going no contact with them. I don't forgive them. I blame them. No, this is all hurting you. This is all stopping you from healing. So what you do is you separate your existence from theirs. They are family. And what do we do with family? We have boundaries, right? Very important. Because family can hurt you the most. So we need the strongest boundaries with family, especially if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you are different in any way, especially if you're the first one in the family to do something differently, especially if you're about to become very rich and you've made more money than other people in your family. Please listen to what I'm saying. And by the way, the amount to which you heal yourself and your trauma will directly correlate to your finances. There's a direct correlation, because the mind is responsible for maintaining focus, right? And so if that focus is spent on trauma, and if that energy is expended towards reliving pain that doesn't need to be relived, how are you going to build anything? You just simply cannot. So trauma healing, guys, is foundational. You see me singing, you see me dancing, you know that I like fashion, you guys know that I like beauty and fashion, right? It healed me. It's individuality, it's personal self-expression. Music has healed me from anything and everything. Do you guys think that was like easy for me to get to? Like, absolutely not, right? That's why I'm going to keep expressing myself my entire life, because I grew up in a household where I was not allowed to wear what I wanted. I was not allowed to say what I wanted. I was not allowed to do what I wanted. I was always constantly monitored. My family was down my throat for everything. It was abusive. Like, it was very difficult. My childhood was, right? So then what do? Well, you have no choice but to heal. You may become very depressed in your teenage years, which is what happened with me. Then I realized, if I keep this up, I'm not going to be around for much longer. So I need to change things. So then I started going within and meditating, and my life forever changed. And that's why I'm here so many years later, right? So the path is now. The path starts now. You start healing from your parents or anybody else right now. Your exes, whatever it is, guys. It could be anybody. And it is usually human beings that hurt us, right? And it's the ones we love most that hurt us. So cut any sort of energetic connection. Cut the energetic connection. Separate yourself. And you go within. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything. It just means that you are focusing on you now for the rest of your life. Very important. So if those girls on Threads kind of knew this stuff, that, oh wait, hey, actually I don't need to blame anybody outside of myself for my problems. I don't need to blame my parents. They could be serial killers. I don't need to blame them, because me blaming them is giving the worst parts of them my energy and reliving that same pain over and over again. It's stopping me from living my life. I love myself enough to cut myself off from any of these negative thoughts about them or anybody else. I reclaim my mind, I reclaim my focus, and I direct it accordingly to what I actually want to create in my life. That is power. That is healing. That is truth. And that's what God wants for all of us. Sometimes we face lessons so that we can realize these things, how in control we are and how much power we actually do have. And honestly, our greatest power is prayer, because prayer directly connects you to God. Prayer is a direct connection. I started praying very young, right? And I saw results very quickly. And I would look around at the adults around me, and I would kind of think, you guys don't even know what I'm doing. Like, you guys don't even know what I can do. Like, I can do things, with my thought and with my connection. And I would see people start to act differently around me, more loving towards me, less abusive, And it was because of prayer. It was because of prayer. And I encourage you guys to pray. I want you to, again, like, disconnect religion or dogma from this. You guys don't think that I've been religiously traumatized. I've also gone through religious trauma, guys, where like God's name, any of his names, were made to make me believe. I've been through quite enough in my life to know how to navigate pretty much any of these things, okay? So God's names were kind of conditioned into me to elicit fear from me. So people around me would tell me, like, be careful. Like, be careful when you say God's name. Be careful when you pray to God. You don't know what damage he's going to do to your life if you keep asking for him, because he's going to test you first before he can reward you or answer your prayers. First, you have to be tested. So as a little girl, even well into adulthood, I attracted people that would tell me these things. Oh, be careful, right? Or they would question my spirituality, or they would question my my reasons for things, or like, oh, you can't wear that. You claim to be spiritual, you claim to love God, but you're wearing that. Yes, baby. God gave me a body to love and to decorate. And, you know, modesty is something that I practice in my own way. You know, spirituality is going to look different for everybody. And as long as you know what it is for you, and as long as you're not hurting anybody else, wear what you want and let people be jealous in the name of God. Period. You know, a lot of people are just jealous and they use God to cover up their jealousy. A lot of people are scared of success and they use God to justify that. So don't be lost. Just don't be lost, you know. Be found. And understand what truth is. God does not want you to suffer. God does not want you to feel trauma or traumatized. He does not want you to hold grudges against your parents or anybody else. He does not want you to feel like you can't wear what you want to wear. God loves you so much. He's like an eternal parent that cares for you more than any material parent could. So give up the fight, give up the battle with people. People are lost, myself included. We are all here, like, you know, struggling ultimately in life. So give up the battle with people. Stop comparing yourself to people. All of this is just, it's illusion. It is really illusion. And also, like, when we want something or when we want someone or when we really hanker after a person, right? All of these things it's just the mind tricking us because we don't have a clear sense of direction. We don't have a clear sense of purpose. If you had a clear sense of direction and purpose, you would already have what you wanted. Don't you agree? Including people. You would say, all right, I want that person. I choose them for my future or partnerships or whatever it is. I'm going to say how I feel and I'm going to let it be known. And then it's that easy. So, but instead people play mind games because they have trauma, because they are in their ego, because they haven't dealt with their pain. Like, they keep themselves stuck. And so you lose out on time, you lose out on opportunity, you lose out on people. You know, you lose out on potential partnerships and friendships. Because you can't love, because you can't open your heart, because you haven't dealt with your own shit, right? And I know this because, guys, like, this is something that I am working through too. How do I know all this? Because I've lived it, right? So, like, that's why when you listen to people that know something, consider how they know it, right? You can't learn this stuff in a book. Show me one book that will teach you any of this stuff. Everything that I'm packing for you in this video, this is a book right here. Another thing I want to say, confidence. I just said a statement that was quite confident, right? I want you guys to be very confident in who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a guy, it doesn't matter if you're a girl, and people will come at you from all angles trying to break your confidence. They'll be threatened by your confidence. They'll ask you why you're so confident. Where did you get the audacity from? I want you to say that, hey, I created the audacity in my lab, you know what I mean, which is my brain, fight me, you know what I mean? Like, I want you guys to be extremely, extremely well versed in who you are, so much so that confidence emanates from you. Confidence is a skill. It's just sitting with God and understanding God's love for you. That is real confidence. People will write in self-help books about how, you know, when you correct your posture and you breathe a certain way, all these things will elicit confidence within you. But I'm here to tell you that first comes the confidence within you, and then comes all of the outer correction. First you go within, you correct the pain and the trauma, you sit with God, you understand who you are as a soul, you stop being lost, and you generate confidence from the inside out. You become confident. You become the real deal, you know, and it's possible for anybody and everybody to do this. And do you think that I ever thought 10 years ago I'd be able to film YouTube videos like this and just talk and provide information? No. I didn't think I could teach. I was like so far in my own issues. I was going through my own pain. I was solving my trauma. I knew one day that I would talk about it, you know. I knew I would do YouTube as well, but you know, that's my own personal journey. So whatever yours is, I want you to follow your heart, and the way to follow your heart is to follow God, because God will lead you to the heart. He'll show you the condition of the heart, what the heart needs in terms of mending. And he'll allow you to see your own heart and to see how beautiful it is and expansive it is and how healed it possibly can be. And he will lead you there if you walk with him. And then you'll become confident and you'll become loving, like I mentioned, and open and radiant. And you will actually, you know, really want to help people. And you will want to use your experiences to help people. You'll want to take what you've learned and give it to others so they don't have to suffer and struggle the way you did. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I've been through a lot of mental turmoil and emotional turmoil in my life because I'm a very sensitive person. And so this sensitivity paired with perception also can make somebody highly intelligent. And so that's a dangerous combination, because the chances of depression, you know, are quite high in that case. And that has been my reality, because I just like know too much. And when you know too much, it's very damaging, you know. You can't relax, you know, you can't chill. So that's, you know, I'm used to it. I'm used to it now. But at the same time, I've just become somebody as well that has a lot of dreams, and I go for them, you know. Like this video is one of my dreams, for example. I just do what my heart calls me to do. And speaking about this topic was one of those things. So I hope this video helped you. And I want you to know that you are always in control of your mind. You may not be in control of other people's actions or how badly they scar you or how badly situations may traumatize you, but you are always in control of how deeply you react and respond to them. You can allow for something to just kind of like pass over you, right? Like ducks swimming in water. You can just allow it to flow off you, or you can take that pain and let it fester, and then it becomes trauma, right? So the choice is yours, how you deal with situations in life that come your way. The choice is yours. You can allow for something to stay and fester and become an issue, and you talk about it. You talk about it to people who listen. Oh, my parents did this to me. This person did this to me. I'll go on Threads and I'll talk about it. You're in it. It's been 10 years. You know what I mean? We don't, guys, like, time is you don't get it back. You don't get it back. So recalibrate your focus. Recalibrate your focus. You want love? Fix yourself and go get that person. You want friendship? Fix yourself and go attract those friends. You know, you want your parents to start treating you differently? Switch up whatever you've been doing. If you've been over loving to them, switch it up. Human psychology, you know what I mean? If you've been over loving to your parents and they've been treating you like shit, switch it up. See what happens. Test it out. You know what I mean? Or the opposite, if you've been withdrawn and quiet, tell them you love them. Call them up, tell them you love. And by the way, I would recommend the latter for everybody. I would really recommend the latter for everybody to reconcile their differences with their parents and heal their relationship with their parents so that everybody can just move on with their lives. You have a full life ahead of you. Don't let this stop you. You know, don't let this be a hindrance to you. Reconcile the relationship. Move away from them if you have to. Send them money from afar if you have to, right? But I would recommend really solidifying and solving that issue or that trauma point first within yourself. Then naturally you're going to want to heal the relationship with your parents, or the relationship will naturally heal, because that's how energy works. Once you solve something within yourself, the outer pieces kind of configure themselves naturally. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I love you very much. Thank you for being here. I hope you apply some of the advice I gave you in this video. Hope you enjoyed my little anecdotes as well. I love you guys very much, and I'll talk to you in the next one.